The world is currently experiencing a transition toward a new order where everything is going to be different. And so I already talked about earlier, but I didn't really talk about the monetary policy because it is something that is going to change. So let's talk about it, shall we? Monetary policy. Something that is absolutely not exception when it comes to world transition. And so as the bank central and so on have already tried to change stuff, saying that negative interest rate is the way to go and so on. And no, it's not, it's absolutely not. And what I want to talk about today, why Bitcoin is going to save us. Or maybe not. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. So yes, Bitcoin. And so what I'm going to talk about today is something that I was inspired by a video that Tom Billieff, something like that, and Antonio Pompliano was conversing about. I put the video in the description. And so he didn't talk about what I'm going to tell you, but I make the link in my mind and I say, okay, this is the only way forward actually. So let's talk about what Bitcoin brings and which actually creates this difference between the current monetary policy and the incentives that people have. So currently we are in the primary monetary policies that has been done until now is through inflation. We want to inflate the currency so the purchasing power of people decrease over time, so they get incentive to spend their money. And so the impact of that is two things. First, of course, they are spending the money to promote the growth of the economy. But second, because they are spending their money, they are not becoming rich, and so they have to go to work in order to get more money. And so this is what incentive people to get to work in the morning. And so we have this workforce that is able to participate to the economy. And so until now, it was working. It was working pretty well because we needed a lot of workforce in order to rise as production level rise. But now that we are entering into the stage where technology starts becoming more efficient, more powerful, and so for instance with the rise of AI and so on, where a lot of jobs are going to be replaced and so on. So even though a lot of jobs are going to be created into this new order and so on, a lot of people are still, there is still, I think, going to be less job than previously. And so this is the issue. We cannot still continue to incentivize people to get jobs if we don't have jobs. And so this is what Bitcoin forced us to get into the perspective that deflation currency is not actually that bad. Having the value of an asset that is growing over time instead of decreasing over time. So Bitcoin, just by its deflationary nature, is growing over time, where the US dollar or the euro or whatever are decreasing over time due to quantitative easing, which is the printing press, where they are introducing more money into the system. And that struck me. I think, yeah, of course, that's obvious. Now we need to evolve to a new monetary policy that is focused on deflation, that is focused on creating rich people rather than creating poor people, because a monetary policy, and I'm not trying to show some conspiracy theory or anything, but inflation, monetary policy is focused on creating more poor people in order to make them want to go to work and participate in the production of the economy. But today, the world that is transitioning to this new order where technology is so efficient now that we need less and less people in order to operate, we need to incentivize people to become rich so they can retire early. And so they can then have enough money to participate and pay for goods and services, but they don't have to work. And so they are out of the workforce, and new people, new young people that are trained and so on, that are more relevant to the evolution of the world, can enter the workforce and be productive. And so I think the way to go is not some universal financial income or no, obviously not negative interest rate. I mean, that's just fucking insane. But deflation can put this incentive on people to save more money, to spend less than they make, so then they can become richer faster, and then quit the workforce earlier. And I mean, maybe there is this argument that not everybody can become a billionaire, but yeah, but don't everybody don't want to become a millionaire. I mean, after having 1-2 millions, and I'm saying that in terms of US dollar, but at some point you have enough money just to live peacefully a tranquil life without just wanting more. And so that, I think in the future that will be fine to have a part of the population that is just living a life they want to live without wanting to have too much money, but just a happy life with their family, enjoying the goods and services they can enjoy with what they have accumulated over time, and also having a savings that is growing over time rather than decreasing. I think that's perfectly fine to have that in the future where we are going to see less and less job, and yeah, so I don't know if this is going to happen, but I don't. For me, that's the only solution, because less job available, even though there is new jobs that are going to be created, and yeah, and I think that, and the funny part of that is with the rise of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, even if the central banks fuck things up and don't move toward what I'm saying, people are naturally going to move towards that. And I think if that's the case, if Bank Central fuck things up, and people naturally move toward this ideal future of deflation, monetary policy, I think, yes, cryptocurrency is going to save the world. Unless central bank decide to shift their monetary policy toward deflation, but I think that's going to be a very big thing to swallow for central bank, and I don't see that coming anytime soon. And they are going to stay into their idea. No, we need to introduce more money. We need to incentivize people to work and to spend money, and they are going to stay in that bubble, which is completely old order of the world, which now, as I said, the world is evolving to, is not transitioning to a new order. And this new order, we need to incentivize people to become rich and to retire early, so the new young people that are coming into the workforce have job. And yeah, when you put this like that, things like that, this is better for everybody. You are working a bit of your life, building your wealth. You can continue to work on anything else if you want after. You can make as much money as you want, or you can just retire early and enjoy life and so on. So, and this is that. Okay, there is going to... The issue I think that people see when they are thinking about deflation is, yeah, but people will not spend their money. Yes, but if we have more and more people that are retiring early, then they will have a lot of money and not necessarily want more than that, because the people that will want more than that will continue to work, build businesses, invest aggressively and so on. But the people that will just retire early will become active spender in the economy. And so if we incentivize enough people to become rich and retire early, then we will have enough people that are able to contribute to the economy by spending their money that is increasing over time. But yeah, I mean, when I made the connection watching that video, I say, That's so fucking obvious. This is the only way forward in order to stabilize the new world economy. Because see that we are on an exponential curve where every technology is exploding and so on. But that's transition. This is not something that can just continue forever. And so we will stabilize into a new order of things. And this explosion, this transition is primarily due to the rise of internet. Let's be honest, computing and internet. And so this is very, very new. This is very new into our history. And so until the last century, we were functioning as a society in a certain way since thousands of years. And now, just by the introduction of the internet, our entire species need to evolve into a new order. And this is what in new order I'm talking about, where there is multiple aspects, of course, of that. One of those also that I already talked about is the gender dynamics and so on. We are evolving, that's fine. And the second aspect, which I wrap my head around currently, is this idea of monetary policy. And I think deflation is the answer to incentivize people to quit their job as fast as possible in order to get enough people to come, to have enough place for new people, younger people that are more energetic, that have much more will to work and do a good thing into the world, to come and have actually place to work. So yes, very interesting thought. Don't hesitate to put in the comment anything you have in mind about that. If you think that's interesting, if you see the world evolving in that direction also, or maybe I missed something. And so I'm going to be very interested to see if you have anything to say about it. If you think I missed something and so on, that actually deflation is going to be bad for the future. I don't think so. I think that's the answer. I think that's the answer for the new order world. And yeah, very interesting. So let's check. No, that's fine. So thanks you for watching, and I see you next time.